Hello, everyone. This is Soaring Majesty. Welcome to part 3 of the admin from the Last Minecrafter series. So, here we go. Exuma paced around the perimeter of the operation, but couldn't see any threat. It was getting dark out, and he had been there for hours. I'm heading back, Herobrine, he told him. There's nothing out here. I'm getting the same readings, he said. Resume perimeter search tomorrow. Exuma started to head back when he heard a noise in the bushes. He went to check and saw a small creature. Hello, little one, he said. Where in the world did you come from? The creature crawled closer to him and sniffed his hand. It glowed brightly and climbed onto his shoulder. Guess you want to head back to our base? Zuma asked. They walked back to the base and met up with Herobrine, Stream, and Eve. A brand new friend, Zuma said. They all looked and Eve jumped in shock and relief. How in the Minecraft realm did you survive? She asked the creature. Oh, I've been so worried. You know this creature? Zuma asked. This creature is actually a Meomorpher, he said. He's actually one of the greatest allies I've ever met. The creature dropped from Exuma's shoulder and transformed into a man. He was in a different type of armor, and he carried a double-edged sword. That's better, he said. Good to see you again, my dear. Where is your brother? He's out with another person, she told him. The man turned to the others. Allow me to introduce myself, he said. I am Morpheus, Morph for short. I was the first one to be a shapeshifter in my village to go against Hades. Glad to have you here, Herobrine told him. We'll need all the help we can get. Morpheus smiled, then looked out into the forest. Someone's coming, he said. Wait here while I deal with them. Morpheus went in and stopped in the middle of the forest. He turned and waved a hand. It's all right, he called. Your friend is back from the end dimension. Everyone walked to Soaring. They saw he was wounded slightly, but he got the elytras. Take this, Morpheus said. It'll heal your wounds. Soaring stared at him and took the healing powder. Thanks, he said. Never thought I'd see you again. Been a long time, my old friend, he told him. But you haven't aged in years. Soaring told him the story, and Morpheus raised his eyebrows. That explains everything that's going on here, he said. You'll need all the help you could get. The 6-month trip to Hades Castle. I have friends along the way that can help. I'm sorry, Soaring said, but Irene wants only my team to defeat Hades. Actually, Herobrine said, Irene wants all the help we can get. Then it's settled, said Morpheus. We'll leave at dawn. I would suggest grabbing bags to sling over your shoulders for each individual. Morpheus walked into an empty area and reached out his hand. A house materialized out of thin air and he walked into it. Soaring stared in disbelief. He can do that? He asked Eve. Yes, Eve said. He's one of the very few that can materialize anything out of thin air. And actually came in handy in the first war he was in. The first war? Soaring exclaimed. Wasn't that a few hundred years ago? Eve nodded. Morpheus is actually as old as Hades, he told him. He is actually another god. He was in fact the original, before Irene. Irene, in God's standards, is basically a teenager. Morpheus stepped down when he saw the potential she had. And now he sees the danger he put her in, Soaring said. He's here to finish a job. Eve, what are we supposed to do? There's nothing we can do, said. Morpheus and Hades are immortal enemies. Once Hades picks up his scent, he'll do anything to kill him. Soaring looked at the house and knew that Morpheus would be walking into a death trap. Hades paced throughout his throne room, waiting for his plans to be set in motion. A corrupt spirit came running towards him. Spirit Commander, Hades said. I assume you brought good news? Spirit Commander bowed very low. Indeed, my lord, said the Spirit Commander. The weapon is ready to be used. We have harnessed the Void's energy. Excellent, growled Hades. Let us commence the destruction of the Minecraft realm. Hades walked to the control panel and pressed a button. Void energy raced to the outer area of the location, and 600 Minecraft chunks disappeared into the void. A work of art, Hades growled. Those heroes will now be destroyed. Zuma was close to the base when he heard a low droning noise. He looked over and saw chunks disappearing from a distance. That is not good, he said to himself. I'm going to have to warn the others. He raced to the base, and when he got there, he rang the alarm. What's going on? Herobrine asked. See something? About 60 chunks disappeared into the void. Exum exclaimed. I think Hades has a new weapon. Morpheus came out of his house with a machine gun connected to his arm. He has, Morpheus told them. It won't be long until he destroys our realm. Herobrine, you're with me. The rest of you, take down the machine. Morpheus and Herobrine teleported out of the base, leaving the rest of the heroes to defend themselves. Thorin, what do we do? Zim asked. The machine took out 60 chunks, Thorin said, and made them disappear into the void. Therefore, the machine is using void energy. We'll need to mine at a low enough level so that we're not discovered by Hades or his corrupt spirits. But in order to do that, we'll need fireproof uniforms, said Eurestream. We don't have that. Actually, I made some, Eve said. I figured we would have to do something like this. Put these on. The crafters put on their lava-proof uniforms and dug down to bedrock level. Zimmer then realized something. Hang on, he said. The warden's supposed to be on the deep slate level. It's not even here. He took over the end dimension, Thorin told him. That's why we weren't allowed access anymore. They traveled to Hades' castle and approached the void gap. I see the machine, Thorin told them. It's on the other side. Rage, use the rocket launcher, said Test Steve. Rage aimed the rocket launcher at the machine and fired. The machine blew up, and the void energy went back to where it used to be. Great, Thorin said. Now we can help Morpheus and Herobrine. They bridged up to Hades' castle and stormed in. Morpheus and Herobrine teleported to Hades' castle, where Hades was waiting for them. Morpheus, Hades growled. Been a long time. How was that retirement? Over, Morpheus told him. Considering you were trying to destroy my daughter. You all knew I would get my revenge, Hades roared. Now, how would you both like to be destroyed? Morpheus held up his machine gun arm, and Herobrine summoned a diamond sword. Hades chuckled. Modern with a classic twist, he growled. He summoned his soul blade and charged at them. Herobrine disappeared and reappeared behind him and sent a volley of swipes. Morpheus blasted Hades with bullets. Hades fell to his knees, bleeding. He looked at them, knowing that he was about to be beaten. He then sent a shockwave that knocked them both out. Herobrine was unconscious, but Morpheus was still moving. Hades walked to Herobrine and raised his sword. So ends the great Herobrine, Hades yelled. No! Morpheus yelled. Something stabbed Hades in the back, and Hades gasped in pain. He turned to see his spirit commander behind him, but with nothing. Spirit commander, Hades gasped. How could you? You never had control of me, he said. You should have known that for 16 years. Hades' eyes grew wide. Thorin? He stammered. But you are dead. I'm not, Thorin told him. I have access to the dead. You don't control them. I do. And now, your time is up. Alright, hang on. I'm going to make a little bit of jump cut. One of my games just popped up. Alright, everyone. I am back. The game is exited. So, let's continue on with the story. Thorin and the crafters arrived to see Hades get destroyed by a familiar face. Hades' soul floated, but the familiar face crushed it. Thorin approached him cautiously. Thorin? He asked. Thorin smiled. Hello, brother, Thorin said. They hugged, and Thorin looked at him. Does this mean you have access to the dead? He asked. Yes. Zarn told him, and now they can rest. Zarn waved a hand, and all of the corrupt spirits fell to the ground. The crafters looked around and saw that there were no enemies. Herobrine took out his scanner. The realm has gone back to the way it was before, he told everyone. Balance has been restored. Morpheus walked out of the castle, but Soren called him. Will you come back? He asked. Morpheus chuckled. My friend, he said. Hades is gone and his corrupt spirits are laid to rest. It is now time I have gotten the long-deserved retirement. See you around, kid. Morpheus glowed intensely and disappeared. We'll see him again, Soren told Soren. I'm sure there'll be another adventure. Yeah, Soren said, but now, let's rest. Herobrine opened the portal to the real world, and the crafters jumped in. 2 months later, Zarn and Soren lived in a small apartment in the Midwest of the United States. Soren gazed at his well-worn jacket and smiled. Memories of that realm. Said, Hey, Soren, Zarn called. The others are waiting. Soren went into another room and saw Exuma and the Hermits, Rage and his family, and Eystream and the scared survivalists. They were all in a Zoom meeting. Soren sat down next to Zarn. Alright, meeting started, said Soren. Exuma, how are things in the UK? Bit warm over here, he said, but I'm adjusting. Some of the Hermits are living over here. The others are in your country. I actually got the paperwork, Soren told him. Eystream, I need Eve and Testive on high alert. Why? Eystream asked. Government in Australia wants them arrested for the damages caused 16 years ago, he stated. It'd be wise for you all to lay low. Eystream nodded. Rage? Soren said. Take a vacation with your family. You all deserve it. Also, I made arrangements for you to get a different house. Rage's eyes lit up. How did you do that? He asked. I have my ways, Soren told him. A portal opened up, and Herobrine burst out of it. He was severely wounded and clinging on to life. Zarn rushed to him. He doesn't have much longer, he told Soren. Herobrine turned to Soren. Run, he said weakly. Soren then realized what was about to happen. We're on Minecon 1, he told everyone. Get out of here! Everyone left the Zoom meeting, and Soren and Zarn grabbed their things. Where are we going? Zarn asked him. A bunker I constructed 17 years back, Soren told him. I figured something like this would happen. It can't be here, Hades, Zarn said. No, it's much worse than that, Soren said. Morpheus and Irene have betrayed us. And that is the end of Book 3, The Admin, from the last Minecraft series. I hope you guys enjoyed the reading, and if you did, please hit that like and subscribe buttons. But in the meantime, this is Soren Majesty, signing off.